Good morning, friends. It's Nick Lind at Commencement Bay Brokers, Monday, March 21st. This is the value added video. We're going to share some really important information today about interest rates and where they've been historically. The rates have been historically low honestly, for much of my career, but exceptionally low for the last couple of years. And there's been some real movement upwards in interest rates lately. And we're not mortgage lenders. We're not the bank, but the interest rate affects how much house you can buy. And we're getting a lot of questions right now about rates, where they're going, and how they impact people. So we're going to share some information about that today. Before we start with the information, we have to say thank you for watching our videos. I'm noticing more and more people watching every single week. And it just means that with this crazy real estate market and all the chaos that's going on and rising prices and rising rates and low inventory, that you need our information, and we're really, really happy that we can deliver it. If anybody else wants to get connected with this series, just get them connected with our Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube channels with Commencement Bay Brokers, or respond to this video with their name and number. We'll get them all set up. So today we're going to talk about some rates, and I've got a couple graphs that I want to share. We've got some amazing lending partners, and one of my partners, Kyle Rohrbaugh, over across the water in Gig Harbor, shared these graphs just for a little historic perspective. So one thing I want to point out is the reason why we're shooting this video is because interest rates have moved up pretty rapidly. So if you can see in 2001, the average interest rate on a 30-year fixed rate mortgage was about 2.96, which is unheard of. And if you look over the graph, you can see from the 70s, it was ranging from 7.54% to 11.20%. In the 2000s, which is where I've spent most of my career, the average rates were between 4.69% and 3.94%. So seeing that rate down at 2.96 is wild. I mean, that's just earth-shatteringly low. And it literally set off all the bells and whistles in the world. Everybody that could refinance in the last couple of years to take advantage of these crazy low rates. Well, interest rates have started to correct. They're starting to look more like they did pre-COVID. And if you look at the later part of this graph here, you can see pre-COVID, they were about 4.54. And that's where my wife and I actually bought. We bought our house. The rates were about 4.54, and the current rates over the last year or two were significantly lower than that. So some of our clients are getting a little whiplash because the rates have gone up. But I think over time and historically, it's important to understand that where the rates are right now, this graph helps us see where they've been from the 70s all the way into today. You know, they're really moving back to where they were pre-COVID. That's not a historically high rate. And I think it's important to keep that in perspective. The other thing to keep in perspective is that there's no guarantee that the rates are going to go back down. In fact, they look right now like they're very much balancing with where they were pre-COVID. I don't have a crystal ball. My lenders don't either. If you can afford the rate and can afford a house, it would make much more sense to get into the market than it would make to wait and see what happens. Because if you wait and see what happens and they end up closer to 5 or 6%, that's a significant jump, and it's going to really impact your monthly budget. So guys, the rates have been jumping around. If you are interested in buying a house and you can buy a house, I think it's important that you do it because they're unpredictable. When they go up, there's no guarantee that they're going to come back down. I want you to know this because so many of our clients are rate sensitive and payment sensitive. And if you're one of those people, you've got to make sure that you're aware of what's happening in this particular market because it really affects the affordability of you in your home. So if you have any questions about this kind of information, we can get you connected with some exceptional lenders who can really break it down. And if you want to talk about how this might impact you and your ability to buy a house, just let us know. We'd be happy to take great care of you. Thanks, guys.